Game number 1 in our Division 3 game today. Yeah, we're hopping a little bit through the divisions. Today we're looking more so at the middle of the pack. We have Heroes of Inclement Weather going up against For the Murlocs on Volskaya Foundry, our first map. Now I casted at least one of the teams already once, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't really remember what kind of strategy they used back then. It was a while ago. So Volskaya Foundry is going to be our first map in the series. And we're pretty much in the middle of the pack, and oftentimes we talk a little bit how these strategies change, how drafting changes when we're looking at Division 7, Division 1, and of course then going a little bit farther even towards potentially Division S soon to be started. The qualifiers are coming up in a bit, and yeah, it's going to be interesting what exactly we're going to see in this one in particular. So Volskaya Foundry with the Dreadlord ban, not Jaina, Mal'Ganis. So very much frontline, taking down Garrosh, Mal'Ganis. Diablo is still up. I mean, okay, on this map, oftentimes what you see is still Blaze being played with the bunker. You want to stay on the objective for as long as you can. Blaze is great for that. We're having sometimes also Johanna being focused a little bit more for the wave clear on the lane and then the move onto the objective right away. But other heroes that can be powerful here are Sergeant Hammer, for example. Mages in form of Gul'dan can be pretty strong too. But this is the map where Ridge originally brought Hammer back in. So the Sergeant, always an option. Genji banned out, which leaves us with Maiev, it leaves us with Tyrande, it leaves us with Diablo, it leaves us with Anubarak. There's a lot out there all of a sudden with those bans. Very specific ban patterns and very few of those targeting straight up macro heroes. So Diablo, for now, as the first pick. That leaves us with a potential Tyrande combo now for Inclement Weather. And yeah, especially Maiev interests me now, if she's gonna be taken here. Again, it's Division 3, so not okay, alright, let's abandon that idea really quickly. Mephisto ETC. If you would have given me 20 heroes to choose on the first pick, I don't think those two would have made my list. As the first rotation, the 1-2. Interesting. That is a very heavy commitment to heroes that I would have said you can take very late in the draft if you really want them. The only reason that I can see why you would pick them this early is that you are known in Division 3 for picking heroes like this, and you decided that this is the way to go. That I could see. Mephisto and ETC taken, and Alexstrasza and Phoenix on the other side. I mean, the combo between the Lightning Breath on Diablo and Phoenix with the Purification Salvo was extremely popular for a long time, and can still be executed here. And Alexstrasza helps you also to just hold the position on the objective, and with Dragon Queen even push the opponent out. But damn, that insta Mephisto pick on the other side. Still trying to wrap my head around that. Is that going to be an Ana ban? Are you worried about Mephisto with Ana? Is that something to be worried about here? I mean, it can be strong. The Nana boost for him can be great. But yeah, Tyrande, I kind of agree with that. Like, Ana is definitely an option. But Tyrande with an ETC power slide into a stun is something I would personally probably be more scared of. So yeah, you were quick on the pick for the first two. Let's show me what you got, boys. Inclement Weather. What are we going to see from them? Offlaner interests me in particular right now, since we have ETC there. That and the support. Diva, Ana. Okay, Ana for Mephisto. And Diva on the offlane. It's a little bit insane today, if you ask me. Like, we are all over the place right now. I mean, I like the composition for the Murlocs a lot more so far. Let's see if they can mess it up. Leo on the offlane for more slows and Kel'Thas. I like it. I like it. You can always like say, well, Kel'Thas, wouldn't it be better to maybe like get a Li Ming in or another mage? Doesn't have to be Kel'Thas. But to be honest with you, you have now slows from Leoric and from Diablo. Phoenix can capitalize on that. Alexstrasza for the heals. It's a solid combo that they're playing here. If you want to play Kel'Thas with that, by all means, play Kel'Thas. Gives you another CC as well with the gravity lapse. Li Ming more so on the first dimensional single heroes. And with that, we have Malthael taken. It's an interesting lineup, to say the least, that we have for Inclement Weather. So I guess let's jump in on the Volskaya Foundry and see who takes the lead in the series and if Inclement Weather can pull it off. let the games begin. Game on! We have, to the left, Heroes of Inclement Weather with Karis on ETC, Luna Silver on Diva, Nyx on Ana, Kratodel on Malthael, and RZM on Mephisto. And to the right side of the map, for the Murlocs, with Kryn on Leoric, Ash Acer on Kel'Thas, Darthwy on Phoenix, and Murloc King and Murloc Queen on Diablo, and Alex Straza for the Murlocs. Let's see if they can make that work. Again, we had that in the past, the Skull Missile build for Mephisto starting up here. And we're having Live and Let Live for Alex Straza. Trying to keep herself in the background here to make sure that she is staying above 70% health. That's going to be pretty important for her. The Diva setup on the other side. That's going to be an interesting one. I mean, again, in an ideal world, what do you want to do here? In an ideal world, you want to mosh pit someone with the ETC, get the Diva bomb on top of that, and then afterwards you have the nano boost on Mephisto, and you just ult through and you kill everything. That's kind of the setup that you want to do for her. If everyone is still surviving through that, you get the last rights through with Malthael, and you got something there. If that's really going to happen, that's a very, very different question, which is going to be answered eventually. Level 1 talent, fealty on to death. So already slight adjustment here. Not going into Austin's renewal or anything of the kind. The consume vitality. I mean, for now, let's see how that's going to work out for them. It's a very heavy 4-man rotation between the bottom and the top. And obviously, now, immediately, this is what becomes important. And the red team is not taking it. They're abandoning it. And I've been talking about timings on this already in the past. Instead, trying to get a kill against ETC. But the problem is, if you don't take your own turret early on, it means that your opponent is able to grab a turret during the time of the first objective, and you won't be able to do that. Another problem that you have with it is that now Inclement Weather can actually start to make a play for the Biotic Emitter whenever this happens. Yep, this is happening right now, and now what you should do if you're the blue team is you immediately move in and you're trying to take this one. Go in, you're missing 2 heroes, take it, and try and claim that. And now you have to make a choice. Either you abandon this down here, or you just allow them to take it. They're claiming it, and that should mean that we're going to have the Biotic Emitter take by their opponent. You'll be a little bit faster with the clear here. They're a little bit late, a little bit slow, but it should still work out. Here comes the push with Diva. They're trying to go for the point. Diablo's attempting to steal it away. They were a bit late on the party here, and ETC dies. ETC goes down. Are they still going to get it? No, ends up in the hands of the red team, but they get the kill against Diablo. Kill for a kill, and the emitter stolen away, and now Mephisto might fall. Barely gets out. Ana, is she going to be so lucky? Yes. What about Phoenix? Ooh, Phoenix gets away, but barely. It was a good thought process. It was definitely the right thought on the blue team. The execution wasn't quite perfect. What they needed to do was burst it down a little bit quicker and not bother too much with the heroes that are on the side. Let them put in. But the thought process was actually really, really good. That was exactly what you need to do. If your opponent doesn't take the turret immediately and delays the turret pick or the turret camp, then you have a free shot at the Biotic Emitter. Now, they don't have quite the wave clear that other teams oftentimes have, which is one of the reasons why they were so slow on it. But the idea behind it is definitely the right one. So even though it backfired a little bit on them, good for them to have that actually timed out. That being said, we still have the situation where they can take their first turret, or their second turret, a little bit quicker than their opponent. Spreading those bombs, on the other hand, on the Diva is maybe not the best idea. And that just happened. Mephisto is still at the bottom of the map, trying to push a lane out. Ooh, even had to go back. And is now just starting to move on to the objective. That makes him really late to that party. By the way, turret in 27 seconds is going to be back. Both of the teams are starting to move in for this one. Level 6 on both sides. Quest continuing for Mephisto in particular, sitting at 20 right now. And here comes the bomb, and Diva is not going to get too much out of it. Kind of overshot a little bit and went onto the conveyor belt. They're still claiming the damage now through Mephisto, and they're also claiming the objective for the time being. But obviously for the red team that only means that they have to move back and grab the fountain to push back in. Turret is back on the map, so if they get pushed back they can claim it. Problem for them is they didn't take the initial lead on the objective, so they can't really move away from this without giving their opponent a massive lead here. Blue team is so far looking pretty solid there. But the red team should be able to claim this if they push in aggressively. Their problem is they don't have level 7. So they're giving their opponent just a little bit of extra space on this. ETC, by the way, going into an off-lane build right now with Echo Paddle. So are we going to see stage dive here on their end? Is that going to be a thing? Where it's trying to have the wave clear and then move back in later. Did not spec into the face melt on level 7. So currently a little bit, well, not confused, but they could definitely do both now when it comes to rogue abilities. There's the Biotic Emitter, the Dragon Queen being used, the play being made. Another bomb, on the other hand, is about to start, and the Murloc Queen goes down. Down is Alexstrasza, the kill against Leoric. We have Ana dying, but it's a 3 versus 4 right now. The red team with the damage, but Diablo is already looking pretty weak here. And he shouldn't be able to make it out of this one. Nope, he doesn't. Diablo goes down, loses the souls. First Protector is taken. And Inclement Weather, they are taking objective number 1. And a 1-level lead before anything else starts. Good deep push against the wave, gets the experience right away. Probably going to open up the lane a little bit before they are moving to the top side. Job done well. And there it is. Tower goes down, get a bit more damage in against the gate, rotate top side, and try to eliminate the fountain. I'm liking the way that Inclement Weather is playing the entire map. Like, they have good timings. Like the turret cam, try and go for the Biotic Emitter. Good timings around the objective, and now also the move for the fountain. Make sure that that one doesn't survive, and then try and take as much as you can in the process. So well done by them. Need to move out this one. Shouldn't be a problem with D.Va. You can create a lot of space with that. Build on Mephisto with a Spite on level 4. So we're seeing a bit of a skirmish here up to the top. The increased duration, and at the same time now, we're having the Ghastly Armor on level 7. So a little bit more armor for you, a bit more survivability for Mephisto whenever the opponent collapses on him. That's definitely going to help him out there. Question still remaining if the combo on level 10 works out, because that's what I'm mostly interested in. I've seen some fantastic combos being executed by Ana Mephisto setups, but sometimes it just also backfires where it's used too early, doesn't really do a whole lot of work, you can't get any kills out of it, and then it's 2 big cooldowns burned that you didn't get any value out of it. But as we expected, Durance of Hate is taken. And there's the Nano Boost ready for it as well, so you're going to get a lot of damage out of that, and then the Lightning Nova afterwards, or before, can of course benefit from the Nano Boost too. That's a great kill on the other hand. Really well done by Malthael, getting the first stack in just in time with his heroic ability. They don't get a massive experience lead out of it, because there's already Kel'Thas down to the bottom of the map that takes the wave down and keeps the experience in their hands until Leo is back. But that's a great start to reduce the cooldown. Fight to the top is already about to start, and we have the Mosh Pit. Mosh Pit into the D.Va bomb becomes all of a sudden an option. The dream. And again, ults on both sides. Here comes Diablo, the bomb way too far out. Bad spot for it to be in. But still, Lightning Breath and ETC is dead. And he's not the only one. Ana falls too. And we are going to see Mephisto die as the 3rd victim in this fight. Yeah, for the Murlocs, they have a strong comp. We talked about this at the beginning during the draft. I think from a macro perspective and the way that they're playing it, Heroes of Inclement Weather are actually doing really well. But when we're talking about the strength of composition and the draft, then I would definitely give the better draft to for the Murlocs. D.Va just has problems getting value out of the explosion, and as you could see in the fight, once that we're having the combo executed from the red team, that's a ton of damage. Lightning Breath into a Purification Salvo is fantastic. Now, I'm still looking towards that March of the Black King. I'm not quite sure what to think of that there. If I would rather prefer them to go into an Entomb, but then again, if you think about it, it gives you a bit more sustain on the shrine itself, on the objective, when you go onto the control point. Another turret about to be grabbed. We're still watching out for that to be taken. Also, when we're talking about abilities now with Kel'Thas having the Burned Flesh, if you at any point just can keep someone slowed down and he gets a full combo out of that together with the Purification Salvo, that's insane damage that you get out of that. The rotation top side, and obviously the red team, with them nearly getting the level 13 talent, should be having a bit of a lead there when it comes at least to power level of their heroes. But they lost the fountain. They lost the first objective and they lost the fountain on the top lane, so that's a bit of a hindrance for them. Kara is moving out there. They have to give that up for now. They got 10%, but now that level 13 talents are gone, they need to be a bit cautious. And they need to get Malthael into the fight too, so he's starting to make the rotation after pushing another wave out that is now going to be lost for the Murlocs. I mean, the combos are all up. Moshpit is going to be ready for the fight too. And if you land it once, that's going to be fantastic. But the question remains, can they? Pyromaniac for the cooldown reduction here for Khaldor. They're already spreading the Living Bomb, and they're spreading it significantly to way too many targets here, if you ask me. Position is taken, and this is now 13 talents on both sides. So finally it's time to fight as inclement weather. The blue team is starting to make their way back into this. Starting to go for it. Inevitable End is now also ready. Attack against Mephisto. Here comes the D.Va explosion. Again, easily moving out of it. Nobody trapping them in there. Leoric for a moment gets isolated. Could turn around. Doesn't even have to use the ult at this point. Ominous Wraith being used by him. Mosh Pit attempt. Not quite. Oh my god, that damage! The Purification Salvo comes in. We have everything getting unleashed with the Lightning Breath too, and then Khaldor is just absolutely wrecking everybody in the closed-in space with his Living Bombs. 3 heroes taken down without a problem whatsoever, and this is just a disaster. Diablo didn't even have to use Lightning Breath. Actually, he did. Cooldown still being shown as a bit of a buggy one because of the Protector. My bad, for a second I was really confused. I was like, wait a second, I thought I saw that. That's 10 kills against 5 all of a sudden. And on Volskaya, a big move through the top lane with 1 fort already eliminated. And they're not going to stop there. It's going to be a fort in the mid lane too. So we're going to see that tickle experience, that passive experience coming in through them. And it's a bit of a sick setup here. They're really doing well in those past few fights. And I mean, you look over at the damage output and it's obviously right now Phoenix who does all the work. I mean, he just benefits from all the slows that are coming through from Diablo, from Leoric, from everyone else. The bot lane targeted, you want to prepare for the next objective, so it means if you can take down the fort, that's the dream. If you can only take the fountain, that's already a good start. So they're doing very well with this, but the turret is going to fall too, and that's going to be the second one. And things are rough. Things are rough for inclement weather. Still starting to look for an opening here, but the level 16s are also soon going to be ready for Fallen Murlocs. And that might even lead to a kill down here. If this fight continues at the bot lane the way that it does right now, with everybody already being low, they might be able to get a kill out of this. Are they going to try and force a fight here? If they can, it would be great. Here comes the bomb. But again, there's no force behind the bomb. It doesn't really do anything. The pressure against Diablo, then it was a fantastic kill. Last Right's being used too. But here comes the setup again. The slow. Nice. March of the Black King actually giving a lot of value to Leoric. Now we're having also the slows applied, and that gives Phoenix the damage output that he needs to get everybody low. But it's just not enough, and they might lose another one. Yep, that is Leoric falling. 2 stacks by now on Malthael's Last Rites. 16 talents are in the hands of Fallen Murlocs, but at the same time, that was a pretty good fight that we saw just now. Again, the D.Va bomb value doesn't usually get too much, but they were at least able to get the lockdown against Diablo, and then with the Last Rites they could secure the kill, which was an important one. If they don't win a fight there, then it's going to be even tougher, but that's some of the experience that they can take back. And with the underdog bonus, they're nearly on level 16, so definitely not out of this game yet, by no means whatsoever. But the big fights have not really looked good for them most of the time. They need to get the quick ones with Last Rites. If they can get that, that's great. And since they have the cooldown already reduced by 10 seconds right now, they might be able to just continue that process and then throw it out a little bit more often, not having to hold it back. Skull Missile focus now on level 16 and 13 for Mephisto, speccing way, way heavier into that. The random laugh. Like, I don't know what triggered that, but hey, I'm game. Someone is having a fun time here. That's a bit silly. When it comes to the items, we have 1 turret on each side right now. Oh, and the healing beacon. Can you actually survive? Oh, Diablo! The healing beacon keeps him in play, but not long enough. Mephisto's able to take him down. Well done. Last Rites wasn't quite getting the kill. It was too late afterwards, so no stack for Mephisto, but it definitely put a significant amount of damage onto Diablo. And this is just showcasing again how much pressure Diablo is under right now in the setup. Now Mephisto has fallen too though, and that makes it a kill for a kill. But Diablo is definitely having a very rough time against all of this Last Rite action that we're seeing. I love that we have the camp now being taken perfectly, actually not perfectly timed, but timed around the bottom lane now. So they're taking that. Here comes the control point. So they definitely had a bit of a timer going and we're watching it. But they still have to make sure that they're not losing their own fountain either. Diablo is soon going to be back here. And we have the defense set up. And obviously, now you have to make a choice if you're on the side of inclement weather. Do you go top lane, yes or no? And Malthael has already started to make the move. He has said, like, guys, yeah, give him a lead. But let's make sure that we take down the camp, because if not, depending on how long this goes, we might actually lose the keep top lane, and we can't really afford to do this. So they're rotating onto the lanes, and that gives us another lead on the objective for the Murlocs. By the way, that Space Leoric. We're going to bundle that out soon. A bit of a giveaway here on the Twitch stream. When the Nexus contest starts again, we're going to have that between games. More pressure in the middle of the map. But I mean, honestly, you need to face the music here. You need to take that fight at some point. Ana, by the way, going really good sleep dots in. She's already one single stack away from completing the quest and getting the additional reward. That's going to be great for her. Yeah, damage comes out. Whoa, that lightning over. I'm not quite sure about that lightning breath on the other hand, but that was a great push against Mephisto, and it leads to a kill because Phoenix is showing no mercy here, and they're going to get more as well. Yep. That's a big hit, and that's Ana falling. Ana is down, that's a double kill, and that is, at the end of the day, going to be another protector for them. Nice pressure against Diablo initially from inclement weather, but then he survives. He's able to get the lightning breath through, and they are getting the kill on Mephisto as a result. Master Taunt coming in. They're even attempting to invade now the camp for the turret, but this situation is just fantastic for the Murlocs. They are starting to grab that protector. And up to the top, a fight taken. I'm not sure how this is going to go for them. There's the explosion on D.Va and the mosh pit, the perfect combo, and that double kill. That's the dream right there. They get 2 kills, they get a third, and now what do you do with the protector? All of a sudden that protector is like, yeah, I guess we're going to get a 4th, but that's probably going to be it. So that was fantastic from inclement weather. I mean, this is the dream. They finally got it. The mosh pit into D.Va explosion. They were looking for it the entire game, and it was tough for them to make it work. But now they get it, and it negates the protector. The protector gets the 4th, and that's it. 1 4th, and that's it. And Malthael has a 3rd stack. Malthael has a 3rd stack. That is a 15-second cooldown reduction for him. And this is really, really going to help him. I mean, he doesn't need a lot more to make that cooldown basically non-existent. Once it's down to 15 seconds, I mean, it doesn't really matter. By the time that it finally channels through, you're already down to 10 seconds, basically. So this is a setup that is just fantastic for them. Malthael will be able to spam that out whenever. And that opens the game up again. Yeah, level 20 is going to be ready for the Murlocs. It's not going to take too long for them to get that. But just looking now at the experience, we're seeing those Storm Talents coming in also shortly after for inclement weather. Diablo is looking at 45 stacks, so he needs to be careful. There's a level 20 now. Flamethrower, obviously the weapon of choice. And things are getting spicy. Really spicy. Leoric, what's it going to be for him? And here's a few more choices now. Normally you go for Buried Alive. If you go into Entomb, that's like not even a question. Uh-oh, there go for the play. Burning Despair is taken by him. You can't really just simply go for that particular point if you don't want to fight. They're trying to force it. 20 versus 20. All the cooldowns are ready except for the mosh pit. They're trying to fight for the healing beacon. They might be able to get it. ETC. Okay, there's the pushback from D.Va. That's on cooldown now. Has the explosion, is using it, and they're trying to steal it away, and they're likely to get it. And Leoric might even fall here. Nice setup. That's a lot of damage, but it's not enough. And now he's in trouble. Moves out. Last rights gets negated by the 20, but barely at that. That could have been a kill there. And the fight isn't over just yet either. Again, ETC with a mosh pit. Slides in the tour bars. D.Va loses at least the mech. But Leoric is about to die. Can he keep himself alive? Nope, but Alex Straza is doing the job for him. Diablo falls, but so does D.Va. It's a 1-for-1 trade, and the fight isn't over yet. They are going ham on this right now. Damn, both of the teams just blow for blow the entire time. Diablo down, D.Va dead. Items taken and used all over the place. I don't think any are being held at this point, right? I mean, we have one play towards the bottom right where another turret is about to be grabbed pretty soon. But so far, none of the teams is holding on to anything here. What a sick fight here. Again, Diablo, by the way, on 80 stacks now on his quest. So he's going to have those pretty sure. The level 20 talent now, of course, of Phoenix also is on cooldown. And last rights being used on that. I need to at least burn that. And the cooldown again, last rights, like he doesn't mind too much about that at all. Like you throw that last rights out and you have it back a couple of seconds later. So he's not gonna be stingy with that at all. Damage output looking very solid for the two mages. Skull Missile and Lightning Nova doing work for Mephisto, and then at the same time, of course, the combo with the Ana ult is really huge as well. Having the nano boost there just buffs that even more. And when you look at the level 20 abilities, we're having him with that, of course, also going into the Unspeakable Horror. Actually, wait a second. What? Huh. I actually expected him to go into his alternative ult. I can't... That's usually what you see being taken if you go for the nano boost there. I mean, I guess that works too. You can still are boosting up the damage quite heavily, but I expected them to go for AoE damage if they're already going into the bomb. Either way, it works with the damage output. Bomb, on the other hand, does not connect here. ETC slides in, and the quick kill with the last rights against Leoric. Like, he can't just go down like this. That's a problem. They still have a fountain here, and they are using it, but with them now playing a 4 versus 5, that's another big issue. And look at the cooldown on last rights. It's nearly fully charged already. Just killed. By the time, like, Leoric isn't even back and he has last rights ready again. Like, he can just throw it out whenever, even for the damage. Just go in, get the damage, and who cares? Luna Silva for D.Va is also getting the mech back to action. The big hits coming in here with a level 20, of course. Pew, pew, pew. Getting the 3 shots of the big shot in. And there's the mech back to action. Ready to rumble, and they already are about to claim the objective. It looked for the entire time as if they would actually lose, and then the combo as the protector, the bot lane, is grabbed by for the Murlocs. Then they get the combo off, they get the kills, and here comes the attempt by for the Murlocs to make sure they're not losing this game. It's a massive back and forth. I have no idea who's taking it at this point. They claim the position, but there's the fountain, and again, tapping up, starting to move in. It's still open season. 99% against 4. They are waiting until the Dragon Queen expires. Talents are going to be back. We are going to have the Lightning Breath combo together with Phoenix's ult. But we're still waiting for Alexstrasza. Alexstrasza is on a 10-second cooldown. She needs to be a bit careful here. And again, here comes the bomb. Can't stay too long. Mosh pit against Diablo. Last rights is used and he goes down. That's a fully stacked quest. 22 minutes in. Can they get a counter kill? That's the only question at this point in time. And currently it doesn't look likely. Leoric is low, moves away, gets still the Ominous Wraith into play for the damage reduction. The kill against Mephisto, but last rights again being used. The cooldown is basically non-existent right now. Gets kill after kill in. Leoric is dead again, but the Dragon Queen is back up and they're claiming the position again. Guess who's back too? It's Diablo. He lost his souls, but he is still fire breathing away right now. And they are reclaiming the position. What an insane battle. Down goes ETC. Phoenix with a value. And it seems like for the Murlocs might win the Protector after all. D.Va with another bomb. It has to be dodged here, but they're staying on the shrine. They're fighting over it. It's an endless battle. It just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Phoenix moves back in. Last rights, by the way, is back up. They have last rights again. But does he have the mana? And I don't think so. Ana falls, and this should be finally it. I think for the Murlocs are safe to grab this one. Mephisto is dead. March of the Black King with a mace to the face is dropping. Malthael, the aspect of death, is down. And just like that, we have the Protector claimed. 23 against 22 in levels, 23 minutes into the game. What an insane battle here. The entire time fighting over this. Now we're having the Protector marching to the top. They want to end this game, and I can't blame them. I mean, I would end it too. The Fort, the Keep, they're both down on the top lane, and the Protector is marching to victory. Jumping in already, but what an insane match. Look at Mephisto's damage. 85,000, 82,000 on D.Va, 96,000 on Mephisto, 116 on Khaldor, and the core is falling as for the Murlocs are taking game number 1 on Volskaya Foundry. And what a battle, damn! Game number 2. it's as good as the first game, then count me in. Division 3 has so far proven to be quite a lot of fun for the Murlocs going up against inclement weather, and damn, that was a back and forth, like, ho ho! That last fight in particular, I think we saw 3 Dragon Queens in that fight, 2, 3, saw multiple last rites too. The only reason why towards the end of the fight Malthael didn't throw the last rites out anymore was because he was running out of mana. Diablo died, came back in, it's just like, damn! Mal'Ganis is banned again, and we have now on Infernal Shrines, of course, the question, how do the drafts look like? Still, I feel Fallen Murlocs got away with a better draft in game number 1, and I feel that also eventually won them the game. But the combo worked at times for Inclement Weather. They got it through one time against Phoenix and against Kalthas, and that's all that they needed to come back into the game and make it a pretty exciting one at that, so that was pretty awesome. Diablo banned out now too. I mean, with first pick, first ban being on the side of Inclement Weather, I don't really mind that too much. Diablo on Infernal Shrines is just an absolute beast. I mean, it's strong enough on other maps as well as is. But yeah, it's still pretty sick city here. So for me, it's more so a question, what happens with Maiev, for example? What are we going to see with Tyrande? I was just thinking if D.Va is another option for Inclement Weather. I mean, they used her already, and I think on Infernal Shrines she even gets more value when you have the Shrine fights. So if you use her on Volskaya, on the control point, then that should be another map where you are at least tempted to take her, right? Could that eventually lead into a ban on her? I mean, I think that the drafting for the Murlocs was pretty solid, and they are sticking with meta bans again. Banning Gul'dan out, so no Echoed Corruption, no level 10. That's not going to be a horrify that just completely rips you apart when you're entering the shrine. But the first pick, that's the big question right now. Maiev hasn't really played a role here yet. Could be, on the other hand, being played now. Hanzo, good early pick. Tyrande, good early pick. Still have Garrosh around that you could take too. And they go for Garrosh. Okay, frontline instead. Leaves us with Johanna for the map. Leaves us with an Anubarak snipe comp with maybe Tyrande. Like Anubarak Tyrande would be opening here. Anubarak and Malfurion would be great too. But that's stuff that we're usually seeing at the Nexus contest. We see that in Division 1. So I'm not sure what in Division 3 the teams are thinking right now, but the drafting again was solid for the Murlocs in the previous game, so I would expect them to go into something similar again, just like a more meta combo where they're trying to force that. Ooh, Malthael, super early against Garrosh, and Medivh. Ooh, okay, it's getting spicy already. Medivh and Malthael. So Malthael against Garrosh, obviously. Medivh is pretty much also negating a lot of the strength and opportunities that Garrosh can provide for his team with a good portal. And has, of course, then also the opportunity to save any target. So they need some damage around that, but that's already a great start for them. Like, that is dangerous. Abathur! Alright. Infernal Shrines Abathur. There's Mephisto again. The Slug. This is the biggest difference, I would say. And there's the D.Va ban. That's the biggest difference that we have between Division 7 and the high-up divisions. Abathur plays no role whatsoever in Division 7. He's not picked, he's not banned, nothing happening there. Whereas obviously when you look at this, always a question, do you pick Abathur, do you ban him out? In Division 1 we see it a lot at the Nexus contest. It's heavily map dependent. And on Infernal Shrines is one of those where you can try and get away with it. Yeah, Abathur in play, and Anubarak on the other hand is banned out. That leaves us with the Johanna pick as an option. Even Johanna is still great with us, but yeah, Anubarak could have dived in deep. I guess it has to be Johanna. I mean, you can play Murden. Who else do we have around? I think I'm missing like 1 or 2 of the high impact ones. Alexstrasza, Jaina. Ooh. Alright, you want to have a stun with that for sure. So either Jojo with the Blessed Shield and Condemn. Alexstrasza for the heals. Medivh is there. And Shrine Control again through the Dragon at night. Dragon form. Dragon Queen. Oh, okay, Lucio, at least with Abathur. Lucio with Abathur. Alright. So we have Abathur in there. Oh my god! Okay, Lucio, Uther, and Abathur. So what happened here is Inclement Weather misclicked. They picked Lucio by accident, and then someone said like, well guys, we have Abathur, that's going to be enough, and then the last player was like, guys, we can't make that work, we need something that heals, and so they picked Uther instead then. That's not quite what happened here, but that is wild. Again, full on Mephisto. That's what they're going for right now. Can that work? Like, if Mephisto falls, it's lights out. There's Johanna. How do you kill anything? I mean, Abathur does damage, yeah. I mean, you have to work through stuns, right? Uther with a Divine Storm over Divine Shield, I would assume. Or is Lucio going into reverse hand? I mean, whatever it is, we're going to find out. Infernal Shrines, game number 2 between our Division 3 teams, Heroes of Inclement Weather and For the Murlocs. Game number 1 was a blast. Game number 2 looks a little bit weird, where the blue team has gone for a strange composition that is lacking severe wave clear. I'm actually interested to see what they can do with that. If they have enough damage output to kill stuff and how they're dealing with wave clear. We have Karis for Heroes of Inclement Weather on Garrosh, Nyx on Uther, Kratodel on Abathur, RZM on Mephisto, and Luna Silver on Lucio. So a little bit of a 2.5 support combo that they're running here. To the right side of the map, we see Ash Ace on Jaina, Kryn on Malthael, Murloc Queen on Alexstrasza again, the Murloc King has to play Johanna since Diablo got banned, and Darthwi on Medivh. And just with that, we're going in. Oh, interesting build already on Abathur. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to go into Carapace because they're already having 2 supports. So instead, we're seeing him go straight old school with the Pressurized Glance on level 1. Full Symbiote Spike Burst build, I guess. Normally, you see that with melee assassins. I think in this game, we're going to see it with Lucio. So, already dancing around here. But that's definitely an interesting start with their build. I mean, I guess thinking about it, again, you don't have to go into the Carapace build. But I would have probably assumed more so that they would go into a Toxic Nest build. Seems to be the more focus. But then, on the other hand, if you want to get the damage out, if you want to have the sustainability and all of that, if you want to help either your support or get that in, then making that work might be the best option for them after all. So yeah, I really don't mind it too much. My problem is really more so how are they going to deal with the wave clear. Because even at the top lane, you can see that Uther is starting to struggle a bit, even with the Abathur help against Malthael. So that is going to be tricky. Down to the bottom of the map, we are still seeing the waves cleared out too. It's just there's so much burst potential and wave clear on the side of For the Murlocs that just from a normal standard macro perspective, their draft is really solid, has some solid options and synergies, and it's going to be a bit of a fiesta for Inclement Weather. Can still work, but I'm just having trouble seeing where the wave clear is going to come from in the later stages of the game and how they're going to deal with, for example, Punishers. So they're of course very sustainable with the setup that they're running here, but also the damage output is a little bit low. I'm just curious to see how this unfolds. Like, how are they going to play this? Because they have to come up with a plan here. I'm not sure what that is yet. Already everybody focusing on just clearing out the waves, clearing out the lanes, trying to get some more objectives, aka mercenaries, into play. This is not getting invaded just yet, but Medivh at least spots it out, so he sees what's coming. They have the level 4 also, with another talent advantage. And with that, they're starting to move in for it. 2 already down, 2 heroes say hi. Alexstrasza is there too, and they're going to try and steal that. Getting more hits in against Luna Silver. That helps with the stacking process for Medivh, who's currently pretty happy about how this is going. Looking at 11 as it stands. But they're not fully invading this camp just yet, but they're definitely delaying it by quite a bit. Malthael, by the way, with the level 4 choice, going straight into the Black Harvest at this point. A bit old school. That was one of the builds that was around right at the start when Malthael came out. Increases the duration if he goes all full through with it. Might actually lead us into a different level 10. I don't really think so. But who knows? Full Skull Missile build for RZM with a level 4 commitment now too. Adrenal Overload, of course. The increased attack speed. That is a bit of an odd I mean, there's a lot of odd things happening, but this is the reason. This talent is actually the reason why you oftentimes in the past saw that build on Abathur with a melee assassin. I mean, the typical one to go for was Illidan, right? Massive attack speed, gets the self-sustain through that. You have the increased range on the Spike Burst. That has a synergy with your level 13 and 16 talents. So those were usually the ideas that you had while playing Illidan with this composition. Right now we're not seeing this. And with Abathur on the map, this should be a pretty solid position for the Murlocs heading into this now. But they give up the position at the start for Inclement Weather, who have a ton of sustain, obviously. But here comes the rest of the party rushing in. And that's experience lost, by the way, on this side. Just a little bit, but it's going to add up. They take the position. They go for Karis. In comes Mephisto with the damage, and he has a lot of that. position on the shrine still claimed, and Mephisto making his play over and over again, getting the damage in here. Everybody low, but there's the Dragon Queen. A little bit early, considering that they were only on 9 stacks, but they're still going to try and take it there. Whereas the Dragon Queen has to be waited out, and there's going to be a time to fight after she drops out of her dragon form. They still have the lead. 24 against 15. There's the level 7, and it's much quicker for inclement weather. They're going to try and use that to their advantage. They have to sustain for sure. Johanna with the Iron Skin has to move out already, whereas the rest of the team is working on the objective, trying to get the Punisher. Medivh is dead, and that resets the stacks. No stacks for him, but the Punisher should be claimed. They should get the Punisher. They should get the Punisher, and they're getting the Punisher. They're still losing Malthael, though. Alright, 2 in the early game are going down. And the early game is not really the concern, I feel, of inclement weather. It's most of the late game that I'm worried about. Early game sustain with 2.5 supports is pretty nuts. And the early lead in experience came obviously through Abathur at the bot lane. But now at the top, they're not even properly baiting the Punisher over. Doesn't well, Punisher jump twice. I guess it works if you do it that way too. Normally that gets punished, but since there were only 3 heroes alive at the time, and not all of them were at the top lane, there was nothing to punish, so in that case it still works. For Medivh, this is a really annoying situation though, because he just straight up lost all the stacks that he had, and he was already at like 11 to 15, something along those lines. So it's going to make things a lot harder for him to get that completed. But it's the mid game that really is what I'm concerned about when we're talking about inclement weather. Right now, they lost the Punisher, but I mean, what do they care? They're still ahead, right? They had an experience, they lost a few structures on the map, so that's a bit of like, meh. But they haven't really lost a fort yet, so it's only the wall that has broken through. But they are ahead in experience. They're using Abathur to their advantage for exactly that reason. Having the slug at the bot lane. Also, look at the build for Uther. I haven't really focused on that there too much, but that's exactly what we're talking about. With now the Hammer of the Lightbringer, getting the cooldown reduction there, then the Pursuit of Justice. So that's also pretty great. Like, way more on all attack. I guess if we're going to see any target for a Symbiote that is going to have a lot of fun with having that, it's probably going to be Uther. He's going to start hammering people into the ground if that continues. Stacks, talking about continuing, stacks continue right now for Medivh as he tries to get that back in. And we're having Jaina taking camps. He's pretty solid at that. But needs to be really careful against the top here. Okay. Oh! I was actually thinking she would wait until she gets the blizzard back, but nope. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's one of the moments when you're like, I hope nobody saw that, but I got bad news for you. Yeah, we did. Level 10 is ready, on the other hand, for inclement weather. And it's reverse amp for Lucio. They're actually doing it. Reverse amp on Lucio to get a bit more damage. Divine Shield on the side of Uther. Water Elemental taken from Jaina. Last rites. And I guess Medivh is... I mean, you could get a Polybomb there. We're gonna find out soon enough, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that next fight. That should be an interesting one, especially since Jaina is gonna try and do their best to redeem herself for that little malheur that they had up at the top. I mean, it was a pretty greedy move. Ooh, that is not gonna go well for Malthael. Nope. Tries to move out, but Malthael is down. Yeah, look at Uther. He's just hammering away at this point. He's like super fast. His level 4 talent is just like speeding him up to no end. And that's, by the way, we're looking at 4 kills against 0 in favor of the double support team. Medivh has finally picked, and it's going to be a ley line for him. It could have been a combo with the Ring of Frost, but they're not going to go for that. Medivh is down to 7 stacks on his base quest, by the way, so the Arcane Rift. He's not really too happy about it, I would assume. Getting that damage in there is super important for them. But now that we have heroic abilities in, this fight is going to be very interesting. I really want to see what they can do with that. Especially the 4 Murlocs. They have to start making some waves here. They have a decent draft, I think, but they need to play it right. Already trying to sneak them in. Kryn is already going for the stacks, and he gets the first few. In comes the pushback. Just pushing him out of the Groundbreaker here. But last rites, it's a little bit early, but a Divine Shield has still been used. Divine should be used, and oh my god, everybody's pressing R, and Medivh is about to fall again. Gets the portal, barely escapes, he was about to die, and we have the counter pressure now against especially Lucio. Already reverse amp is through, everybody using their ults pretty much. The Dragon Queen is on the ground, Karis is down, Garrosh is dead. They're going for Uther, they're going for the Murlocs, and yep, there we go. Uther dead, Garrosh down for the Murlocs. They take 2 kills, they are still on the objective. Malthael has to rush away from this one and is able to move out, but this is starting to look grim. Everything already used, they're moving in once again with the reverse amp, and as expected it does no damage. So the Skull Missile is still working, but yeah, Lucio is doing his best here to somehow steal that back with the help of Abathar, but they're only at 5 stacks against 39, so you can't make that happen. 17 stacks on Medivh, didn't die this time, but it was a close call, as you could see earlier. And now they're moving through the middle. They don't have the level 13 talent. I don't think they're gonna matter too much for them. And here we go. We're moving through the wall. Let's see how much they can get out of this one. It is a frozen Punisher. We can lock someone down, like Garrosh, for example. They might follow up on it, but yeah, not quite. I feel like we could have seen a Blizzard there just to get some more damage in. That didn't quite work for them. Last Rites is, by the way, back up. Did so far not get a stack. Jaina with the quest completion. Here comes the ley line. Malthael still pushing the top lane. And they easily move away from this. Punisher gets a bit more damage in, and Malthael is just saying, guys, I got this. Now you need to really move away though, dude. You're a little bit late with that. Why is he going back in? They just lost vision of the mid lane. Okay, that misses, no flip, and Malthael actually gets out. That was risky. It was really risky by him. He should have died there. If someone else moves over and they get any kind of hold on him, he's falling. But at least they capitalize on the situation. They see the rotation to the top and they're immediately saying, alright, then we're going to take our camp away. But they need to commit a little bit heavier to that, and they do it. Okay. No flip against Murloc King. That was important, or he could have ended up in range of the fort. Malthael is under pressure. Here comes the taunt. They're going in again, and they might get the kill. Where's the last rites? Where's the last rites? No. Oh, down goes Malthael. Could have used the last rites there to kill 2 heroes, actually. Either one, but instead they are falling. And now here's the pressure again, setting the portal up to escape. 1 stack away from Medivh to complete his own quest. Still the lead in experience and also in kills for Inclement Weather. 5 kills against 2. I mean, again, Malthael is going to get his quest completed eventually here on the level 2, and that's going to help him with the survivability through the Reaper's Mark. The duration increase is going to be pretty handy. Level 13 talents give us also now the Well Met. So that's going to be pretty sweet. I mean, the movement speed reduction, his own movement speed gain is going to be pretty cool. Medivh getting finally his quest completed, and that's probably one load of him. Just making sure that he's not going to fall again and reset those. So it's going to be pretty nice for the damage output that we're going to see on Medivh. The cooldown reduction is going to come in pretty handy. The level 13 talents are by now also in play. And that means on 13 we're getting the Enduring Will. Makes that a little bit easier. And also, of course, gets a cooldown reduction here if you are applying that to a burst, to a target that gets bursted. So that's helping with the sustain on their end. Inevitable end, I would assume that for Malthael is going to be a big help. He seemed to struggle a bit earlier against the cooldown talking Malthael. No way! Oh god, that guy is so lucky. That Groundbreaker of Karis missed him now, I think, 4 times. And every single time just barely. Malthael is really toying with fire here. He's playing so greedy on that top lane, and for some reason the blue team is just not able to punish him for it. And I think just as he's trying to mount up, Garrosh actually saw him, and if he just would have walked into that bush with an auto attack, he would have probably cancelled the portal. So I think Karis at this point on his Garrosh is a little bit tilted. I know I would be. 16 is in their hands though, they're still ahead, and the 16 talents are pretty sick. I mean, at this point we're already talking about the Skull Missile again. I'm not quite sure if you really want to fight on the Shrine without having your own level 16. Benediction, of course, another big one. Volatile Mutilation. Okay. That is an interesting one, especially, of course. I don't see that too often. As the double the double Mephisto, by the way. The taunt comes through. 16 on both sides now, and oh my god! That is Jaina dying within half a second. Mephisto already with the last rights, but couldn't get the kill here. They're trying to get a little bit more, but damn, that was damage. Mephisto completing his own quest, but holy cow. They're going in with a portal again. Need to be careful against Scarer so that he doesn't get the flip in, but they are still taking the shrine. I actually have no idea how not more people died. Only Jaina fell. It really looked to me as if they would lose 2-3 there. As the double Mephisto with the Lightning Nova goes in. Damn, son. I mean, that was brutal. Krine is a little bit deep, but gets the shield. Could she keep his scalp alive a little bit longer? But wow! Gets the portal again. That guy, seriously. I mean, he is just using all the luck for the entire year already on this one day. This is a little bit dicey. How are they still alive? They're all getting away. There's just not enough damage on the other side. And that's an Arcane Punisher taken. And Jaina's back. The blue team just can't get the kills, it seems. And Mephisto knows only one direction. Retreat, what is that? That's a foreign language. Sorry, but I don't speak Spanish. He goes in again. They take down Lucio. And now they're looking for a kill against Uther. And they're actually going to get it. Malthael finally falls. And Jaina just came back and is dead again. Jaina just came back and is dead again. How much damage does Mephisto has? Mephisto is sitting at 49,000 damage. Punisher in the meantime is doing work. But I would be pissed if I'm Jaina. Like, she's super excited. Guys, I'm back. We can push now. And then she's just arriving in the fight and immediately goes down. Talking about things that goes down. That go down. Down at the bottom of the map, we have one fort eliminated. The one at the top has also fallen. But yeah, that Mephisto. Damn. Mephisto with Abathur is the only thing that they have right now. 32,000 damage on Malthael. Mephisto here on 16. The explode on contact, this alone is just brutal. And I think this is a huge part of what wrecks Jaina every single time when she's getting too close. The spell power advantage, of course, adding on top of that too. Good damage onto the keep, but they can't take it. So when you look at the map, it's still a bit... I mean, it's pretty much even, to be honest. The extra damage on the keep itself are, of course, fantastic, but it's not like they're able to take that down. But at least they are able to take the camps on the map because their opponent isn't really ready yet for this. But yeah, Jaina is going to try and get the damage through. Jaina's not having a good game. She, like, dying to the camp earlier wasn't really too great, and getting insta blown in the fight, and then moving into the next battle, being all excited and dying again. This is one of these games where it's just like, yeah, I wish I stayed in bed today. Shazer, I mean, did well last game. Just seems to be one of these games, you know? I mean, it happens. It happens. Okay, let's look at the numbers a little bit on the other hand. Who are the damage dealers? Abathur and Mephisto, that was to be expected. Lucio on the other hand with the reverse arm is tickling opponents to death. That's why we heard those laughing sounds earlier. Don't stay too long. Don't stay too long. You have the vision. Medivh provides the vision here. Jaina with a portal. Okay. Gets the portal, use the water elemental. I don't think we're going to see any big plays around an advantage with level 20. I don't really think that's going to happen or going to matter here. So it's probably going to be another big shrine battle that we have. And it's just insane when you look at these team fights. I mean, oftentimes it really looks like Implement Weather could be able to take 1 or 2 down with ease. I really think what they need to do for the Murlocs is, if they really want to take this, they kind of need to make sure that they're getting sick damage in through... They need to somehow blow Mephisto up. The problem is, against 2 supports, how exactly do you do that? Especially, of course, when there's a Divine Shield on the other side. It's just so difficult to deal with that. But the 20s, it's going to be a big, big difference here. And, well, especially for Uther, obviously. He can sacrifice himself a bit. Abathur is way far out, by the way. He wants to get the experience for his team as quickly as he can. And I feel like these bad boys, they should stop pushing, because 20 is nearly going to be there. And that's a fight you don't want to take. It's a small gap, but it's still a gap that's there. So just let it be for now. You don't necessarily need to keep. They're getting it. Johanna went in deep, but here's the 20. Here are the Storm Talons. And, yep, that's a fight you don't want to take, boys. Alright, they take it anyways. Let's see if they can make it work. They're getting the Dragon Queen out. Push the opponent back. That's a cooldown you're likely going to miss in the next big engagement. Mephisto is low. Mephisto is in trouble. And if Mephisto actually falls, it would be a fantastic start. The copy on Abathur is already gone. Alright, it was only the Abathur copy. Okay, it was actually, I thought for a second it was the real one. There's the kill against Medivh. And they're all on the run. Every single heroic ability has been used there. And let's see how many more are gonna die. Yep, that's gonna be 1, 2, 3, and we're talking team wipe. And this is why you don't fight against Storm Talents. Okay. Everything obliterated. Again, why go for the for the fort? Why greed for that fort when your opponent is about to hit level 20 and they have an Abathur at the bottom of the map soaking experience? Just move away, wait a little bit, and then take the fight. That was not what you want. And now we're having a free Punisher for the blue team. It's going to be a Mortar Punisher for them. Alright, they're going to be pretty happy about this. Could have seen someone pushing here. I mean, Lucia's going to help out. At the bot lane, it's only Abathur. Mephisto, Malthael is giving them the experience for level 20. So with that, we have Winter Mute now actually taken. We're seeing no one can stop that. We already saw that chosen from Medivh right away. On Ruby Wings, Indestructible, and the Guardian of Tirisfal. So, insta-wave clear for Medivh. It's going to help a lot actually when they are losing a keep. It's not actually quite sure that they're going to lose a keep with the next one, but he's definitely going to have the wave clear now to easily push these lanes out. And there's the free Punisher that they got, 13 kills against 5. And let's see how much they're going to lose here. To be honest, with the fort not even opened up at the wall, they should be able to burn this one down maybe even before the keep falls. Like, they're going to lose the fort. You can't really prevent that. But as long as you poke from a distance, you might be fine. Look at that movement speed, by the way. Jesus. But that could also be a dead hero. Last rites. Where is it? Are they going to get it in? Last rites. Divine Shield doesn't hit, but the kill doesn't come through. He might still fall, and yep, nobody healing him, but also Jaina dead again. Kill for a kill. The front line gone. Still no stack on the last rites, but they're trying to move in again against the copy on Mephisto. Copy's not going to be able to do too much anymore. And they're taking on the Punisher. That's a win in my book. Punisher fights. It's a big 5 versus 5 battle, and you are able to keep your keep alive, and you trade 1-for-1 in kills. Hell yeah. That's a big win for them. Can go into the middle and drop the fort here if they want now. Take the camp first. Let's take a quick look at those, at the damage output. I mean, they're looking really not too bad. I mean, Malthael and Jaina are getting punished a lot in the game. And they're going for core. Ah, no, for keep. Oh, sorry, my bad. For some reason, I actually thought that the keep was already down. I don't know why. Been talking long, like a long time now about how the keep is not gone earlier in the fight. But yeah, they take the fort here. Going for the keep might have been a little bit of a play. But yeah. I don't think you want to go for keep here. You're still in a 4 versus 4. Cooldowns are down, so it's like, nah. Let's maybe not risk it. Just play it safe. Get another fort. Get a little bit more pressure through catapults on the lane, and then play around that. Medivh can always like fly somewhere, get his damage through the Arcane Rift, and just take them down there. But yeah, it's definitely an open game still. But now we have 20 versus 20, and now you can definitely still start taking these fights. You just need to be careful about that Mephisto and spread a little bit out so that you don't get hit by that. By those skull missiles too hard. Like, the extra damage that comes through with that is pretty sick. It's pretty nuts. But still, it's anyone's game to take, right? It's a pretty tough one. They're pushing the bot lane again. Alright, this is the one thing that Fallen Murlocs has been doing the entire time. They are aggressive. They are an aggressive team. They're taking fights that everybody else would say, like, yeah, I don't want to take this. They're like, nah, we really want to. We really want to. And they're sieging up here. And they're getting some damage in. Here's the copy on Abathur. Try to move away from this one through the portal. And they barely get out. But does he die? Yes, he does. Mephisto goes down, and it's a triple kill. Mephisto kills all of them. He didn't go down. It was Malthael that died. But yeah, Mephisto goes for a quick triple kill. The engage so far is going to drop Jaina too. Malthael is back. Can he get a last rites in? Just hit it. Nah. Would have at least forced Uther to use a Divine Shield. But there are already the heals that alone would have helped already. 18 kills against 6. This is a sick, sick game. And the sickest part is it's not even over. Because we are going to have everybody back for the next shrine. Yep, that's actually going to happen. We have another big battle over the shrine. So the blue team, no matter how many kills they have, they can still lose this. Shrine is being announced, and that's just the time when Jaina is going to be back. As long as you don't lose a hero now on the map, you're going to be still fine. Mephisto's damage output at 83,000 now. Honestly, if Inclement Weather wins this, we're gonna see an insta Mephisto ban. They played Mephisto twice now, like twice, and it looked pretty much the same every time. Okay, they need to start rotating top. Dude, you don't need the experience from this wave. Just go top side. I don't know what you're doing. Are they honestly going to give them a free Arcane Punisher 24 minutes into the match? Is that really happening? Oh, if they... That would be such a bad call. They need to win that fight now. They need to win that. Here's the double Mephisto again. Here it comes! Oh, the Divine Shield! Last Rites gets negated by it. And here comes the move into the back line. Karis is low. He's down. The counter kill maybe. And yes, Jaina is dead. Kill for a kill. But the copy is nearly done. Medivh dies. And oh my god, they're low. There is Mephisto. Medivh, he dies. But he at least gets the kill in against Lucio. But there's just not enough on the map, is there? 2 versus 2 plus Abathar. That's what we're seeing now. And one of the two is actually Mephisto. And he is wrecking fools. But you have to go now. You can't allow them to take a Punisher that strong in the late game. They should actually delay it. Take 39 and then wait for the rest of the team to come back. I don't think against an Arcane Punisher you can defend right now. 21 kills against 8. Whew. Can they maybe fight for this? What do they have? They don't have a lot of abilities here. They don't have damage, that's their problem. They need to somehow take Mephisto down in these fights, and it doesn't really seem like they can. There's the Blessed Shield for Johanna, but it honestly looks grim. 39, that's what they have. Perfect. They just waited out. Bit of a Master Taunt action coming up. But this is going to be a pretty sick defense if they actually pull that off, because the wall is already open. You have an Arcane Punisher. It's 26 minutes into the game. That is a disaster. I mean, damage output for now. Look at Lucio, 78,000 damage, second highest damage dealer in the team. I mean, it's Mephisto that blows everybody up, but Lucio is still getting some damage through, and he has now the non-stop remix there as well. So, yeah, it's gonna get a lot sicker. And here comes the play. How do you defend against this? That's the big question. They need to bait it over. Trying to bait it in. Uh-oh, no Iron Skin being used. Uses it a bit late. Lightning Nova comes in. Once again, the double Mephisto. They're trying to dodge it as well as they can, but there's also Arcane Sentries everywhere. And that keep is just disappearing. They're trying to burn at least the copy down. Jaina is already under pressure. Jaina needs to get away here. Ice Block immediately being used, and she's down again. Jaina is dead. Malthael is also in trouble. And the keep is gone. The Punisher is already on the core. They are struggling. Here comes the Dragon Queen, trying to somehow keep them alive. But it's another kill. Malthael is down. That's a 5 versus 3 on the core now with an insane Punisher to boot. Murloc King, the indestructible procs. He's barely walking away from it. But this is game, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see game number 3 here in Division 3 between Inclement Weather and for the Murlocs. GG and well played. Game number 3. Series goes all the distance in Division 3. For the Murlocs going up against Inclement Weather. Bit of a fun one there in the last one, and I wouldn't really be surprised to see Abathar banned out and Mephisto. Mephisto in particular seems to be a problem, but they ban Garrosh. Okay, for the Murlocs with the Garrosh ban, and now I'm interested to see what else we are going to get rid of. Because it felt like Mephisto just ripped them a new one throughout the entire fight, and Mephisto also seemed to be a bit of a problem in game number 1. So, not quite as big as one, but still. It's a great map for Abathar, but I would assume that you... Okay, they ban out Abathar, they allow Mephisto again. Fair enough. Not afraid here, apparently. Gotta admit that I don't quite understand the ban on Garrosh. I mean, I understand it from a meta perspective, don't get me wrong, but it felt like they had huge problems dealing with Mephisto in general, and now they ban out at least Abathar, because he, of course, gives a lot of incentive here on the big map, and maybe it's just a double of Mephisto that they were so afraid of, so if that's the case, then that's fine. But they have to assume, at least for the time being, that Inclement Weather is going to pick Mephisto again, so at least have something prepared that helps you to take that out. We had a bit of a break between the two games. between the last game and now the draft here, where players could grab a drink or go to the bathroom. And so I assume that they talked this through already. The map choice, by the way, from Inclement Weather. The first pick, first ban was taken by for the Murlocs. And they used that to get the Haka for the global on the first pick. So they really want to play with the macro strategy here. And early picks. For Inclement Weather, I don't know what to expect here. Tyrande is actually meta, so Tyrande and Gul'dan. I mean, Tyrande allows them also to check the map and see if bosses are taken, right? And they interrupt against channels on the tributes. But getting Gul'dan in very, very early. This is really the team where I'm just not sure, okay, what to expect from them after what they played so far. And now that we're having for the Murlocs on their picks and bans, they could actually go into a tank and then ban another one out to limit the options even more. 3 have already been eliminated. Stitches! Okay, Stitches and Hanzo still want to have a follow-up, so I guess they would like to go into Malfurion. If I'm Inclement Weather, I'm banning Malfurion right now. Right away. Yes, you can also play a lot of that with Stukov, but that's really the moment where you say Malfurion, and nope, not happening. Stitches hook into Root. Alexstrasza instead. No more Dragon Queen. I mean, it was twice Alexstrasza was played now, so maybe the hope that the support player on the side of for the Murlocs isn't really strong with other heroes. And to be fair, Dragon Queen is annoying. What do you ban on the other hand if you're for the Murlocs? Could ban Muradin, Johanna, and Uberak. All 3 of them work really well with Tyrande. So no matter what you ban, these are going to be options on the other side. But ETC was played in game number 1, so they're a bit more worried about that mosh pit maybe in those close quarters. Yeah, there's a plethora of tanks available for Inclement Weather that they can actually use with this, so I don't really think that they are going to have any troubles there. My biggest concern is more so what's going to be the side laner for them, because they were a little bit more experimental in that sense. Maiev hasn't really been taken yet either, so Nubarak Tyrande is going to be the play, and Arthas in addition to that for the offlane. That's a strong setup. You want to have more damage, maybe Jimmy towards the last pick. Could be taken by for the Murlocs as well. Jimmy would actually be good on both sides now. But with Stitches hooking someone in, you kind of want to have a bit more damage, right? So burst damage in particular. But Jaina didn't really look too strong in the last map. Might not be the pick for them. Tychus! And Stukov. Now again, I would have personally preferred Malfurion, but Stukov, as I said before, works as well with this comp. I'm still surprised that they're picking Tychus over Jimmy. And to me, that is a Jimmy pick right there. If you go up against this, Maiev, I'm okay with that too. I just assume they don't have someone to play that hero. But, yep, if you pick Maiev and you get, I mean, Tether 2-3 in, Arthas comes in with a root, and Uberak with a stun, Gul'dan with the damage. Hell yeah, that's a lot of power there. No Jimmy. But again, we have Tychus, the man with a cigar, without cigar. Let's go in. Game number 3. Inclement Weather versus for the Murlocs. The final map, Cursed Hollow. And to the left, Inclement Weather after the victory on Infernal Shrine starts with Karis on Nubarak, Nyx on Tyrande, Kratadel on Arthas, RZM on Gul'dan this time, and we have Maiev with the Bonds of Justice. So this is going to be the most interesting play here. Is Maiev able to really get the value through? That's going to be the important part. That being said, on the other side, for the Murlocs, we're actually seeing Ashe Acer on Tychus this time. We're having Kryn on Dehaka, Murloc King on Stitches, Murloc Queen on Stukov, going straight into the range with a Spine Launcher, and Darthwy playing Hanzo. Alright, let's get this started. Who's going to take the series? The last one was intense, the first one too, if we're honest. And Arthas going into the auto attack build. We've already seen it today once. Can be very, very strong if you continuously apply that trade. Towards the late game, you're definitely packing a punch with that hero, and that's going to be the goal. Then again, you look over to Murloc King, and he goes for Savor the Flavor. So he has sick regeneration in the late game if he gets a lot of stacks on this as well. Stacks generally in Heroes launch, the farther you go down in divisions, the more people focus on stacks. That's always what it seems. A bit of a rule of thumb, of course. Not necessarily true for everybody. But we'll see how that's going to work out. Arthas wants to be part of the fight because he's just trying to stack here. He's actually finding himself at the bot lane right now against Tychus, who burns him, of course, down with that level 4. Once that they are at level 4. Got the first stack in already. I mean, for Arthas, of course, first of all, you want to get the mana reduction, right? That's going to be an important one. Make sure that you get the mana restored, you're not going to run into any problems there, and at the same time you want to have the damage increase, and that just continues through. And he gets the second stack in pretty easily. He needs to just be a little bit careful, because Tychus is in the early game definitely not afraid of Arthas. Not at all. And someone miscalculated there quite a bit. Arthas is already incredibly low, and that doesn't help him on that lane whatsoever. Hanzo already starting to take his camp. We have Gul'dan, by the way, successfully claiming the Siege Giant camp towards the left side of the map. First stack now also in for Stitches. And in case you don't know what Savor the Flavor does, so you get the extra regeneration here. Okay. That was a bit scary for Tychus. Just a little bit. You have to keep an eye on Maiev. Like, whenever she's disappearing from the map, the lane has to really call that out. Level 4 talents, pretty much the stand. Interesting enough, like, if you're going into the auto attack build and you're trying to play around that, you can make a very good argument for Rune Tap on level 7 and Icy Talons on level 4. But now I would expect Iceborne Fortitude to be taken on level 7 for Arthas. Nubra going into the engage build. I mean, if you're playing with Tyrande, you kind of want to set her up for a good stun, and that's when you're going into Underking, and normally also the Subterranean Shield on level 7. So that would be our assumption. No Luna. There we go. Luna Blaze taken on level 4. I was for a moment a bit weirded out and being like, wait a second. Are we going to see an adjustment there? Talking about potential adjustment. There's a drag. And the Nubarak should be able to move away from this. Yeah. The silence was a little bit too late, but I think even with a properly placed silence in time, Karis would have been able to burrow out. You need to have like a really sick setup to make that work. But they're not even contesting this. They're seeing a camp taken by the blue team. And they're still pushing the bot lane with 2, so they're going to get some value here, but they're going to give up the first objective in the game. Well, the first tribute. It's not necessarily the entire objective. Also, in the rhythm, taken. It's not trying to necessarily burn down Arthas immediately with the bigger they are, but instead going for in the rhythm to trying to have that minigun damage up for the entire duration of a fight. Stacks pretty nicely if you get it through at the beginning. Nice start here. Not quite the best combo between Anuburak and Tyrande on the other hand. It was a little bit reverse what we saw there. Tehaka has made the way down to the bot lane. That's where the global really comes into play. That's where they're going to get some value. But now obviously his burrow is also on cooldown, so he can't just threaten to move in here. The blue team should know that. And they're still trying to make the play for Tychus. He's starting to move in. Could even stack the minigun a little bit more on this one. But we're going to have the fight over the next tribute. This time the blue team is ready. Inclement Weather wants to go for it. They make the adjustment on 7 for Arthas as well. No Iceborne Fortitude. Instead the Immortal Coil is being used here. And as expected, we're seeing the Subterranean Shield. And of course also for Tyrande, the standard talent. Going straight into the Celestial Attunement for the cleanse. Good stuns against Stitches. And he's tethered in too. But they might get the counter kill against Nubarak. And indeed they do. And Nubarak goes down. And here comes Tehaka. Connects the drag. Massive damage against Tyrande. It's barely enough to take her down. But can Darthwy survive? And no, he cannot. The silence is still in. It's just a blow for blow. Kill for kill. Trade for trade. But it ends in favor of the red team. For the Murlocs, they claim 1 additional big name. 3 kills against 2. And they also get the tribute. And that puts immense pressure now onto the team on the left side of the map. Inclement Weather, they need to win the next tribute or it's going to be a curse against them. And they know that too. A decent setup. It was good silences. Nice lurking arms that we saw from Stukov. Playing really well around this. 5 stacks on Savor the Flavor. Tychus not getting too much out of in the rhythm. Doesn't really be able to get a lot of damage in the last time with a minigun. Just hitting a couple here. I mean, this is really a talent where if you do well at the beginning of the game, it's just exponentially starts to increase the duration of your minigun. It's really the early ones that are the most important ones. Whenever there's like a hook, whenever there's a drag, that's when you really want to use it, try and get the full duration through, and then as it starts to accumulate, it doesn't become as important anymore, but that's how you usually start into this. And so far, Tigers has suffered on that a little bit. He's going to be able to get it through here now too, though, if he starts to move in with it. There's the silent, and that's the moment. That's the moment when you can start to apply the damage, and that's what he does immediately. Gets some damage in at least, but uses always then the overkill shortly after. So a bit of a mechanical problem here on his side. Nice damage from Gul'dan, gets the entire corruption through, and the stacks are at 17 for the time being. Good zone out. Nobody is even close to level 10, but a nice interrupt against Tyrande. Can't heal while they're being attacked here. Drag misses, and they're moving back out. So it seems a little bit like the way that Tigers is doing this right now is he activates the minigun, doesn't completely get the duration through, and then shortly after the minigun he actually goes into the overkill and follows through with it. So normally what you want to do is you get the minigun out, and once the minigun is done, then you go into overkill instead. Quest completed for Arthur's. It has his 10. We're just going to try and continue stacking it, of course. Level 10 abilities are going to be important, and this might even be a kill if he gets the drag. Oh, he misses it. That's unfortunate. And look at this. This is actually an issue. Nobody seems to be sniffing that out. There's level 10. Level 10, and they finally see it. Can they rotate in time, though? They get 4 in. Tigers is on his way, but level 10 abilities are now ready for both. And they're a little bit late on it. Arrow misses completely. Cocoon is in. There's the silence. Arthur's with the Syndragosa. The fiesta is complete. Suko falls. And damn, that boss was not only taken, but they got 1 kill, and it looks like they might get a 2nd kill out of it too. That is not what you want to happen there. The lead in experience for the Murlocs, but they don't see the boss grab in time. They lose 2 in the process. The arrow misses completely, and then Syndragosa comes in from the side and locks everyone down, and they are just too late and too slow. That was an unfortunate one. A good Cocoon, by the way, on the point to make sure that they're grabbing that. I mean, it's an early one, so it's not like they can do too much with it, but they're definitely pressuring the bottom fort quite significantly, and that's going to be up for grabs pretty soon. 2 tributes against 2 tributes now. The next one is the one that matters. Also, when we're looking at the Hanzo build, by the way, going straight into Redemption here, so heavy focus here again on the base he attacks with, even ignore all distractions. This is one of those talents that makes a lot of sense on a lot of maps, but I'm not quite sure how much you get actually out of this one. Because the problem that you have with it is that you're not really fighting. Like, one of the maps that's, for example, being played is sometimes Infernal Shrines, and you see it also on Volskaya Foundry. And the reason why we see, especially on the Korean side, the talent being played there is you always have the objective spawn next to the minion wave, so you can get the extra range quite easily throughout a big team fight. With a lot of the battles here focusing on bosses, on tributes in the middle of the map, you get less value out of that particular build when you're using it on a map like Cursed Hollow. That's something to consider here. But now, we're going into the next potential fight. So far, the Stitches hooks, by the way, haven't really done too much. You can throw it over here. Might be able to get Gul'dan. It would be a blind hook that you can always throw out if you want to. The Haka is on the way, but there's also a camp pushing through the mid and the bot lane, and both of them have to be dealt with. Here comes again Maiev. Gets them in. Damage comes out from Tigers. Here comes the Syndragosa. The cage is on the ground. Where's that? The arrow is good, but it's a bit too short. They're trying to get the kill against Maiev, but they cannot quite secure the damage, or so I thought, and then Tigers delivered the final blow. Gets the kill in. Great from them. And using the Odin here now too. Yeah, Ash Acer definitely on the Tigers. Again, I'm not trying to criticize like shit on anyone here, but just pointing out a couple of the mistakes on the mechanical side. They were able to get the kill and they got the tributes. That's fantastic for them. The red team is pushing. But with 17 stacks, you don't go for in the rhythm when you have that. The whole idea of in the rhythm is really to just get that massive minigun damage out and stack this quest talent. And currently that's not really happening. So if you do that properly, normally what you do is you get the D, you start the trade, you get the full minigun through, and then you go into overkill or Odin. And both times that we saw it right now, we basically saw the minigun either not activated or activated and shortly after the ability coming into play. And that way you never really stack that properly. So just as a little bit of a of an advice if you guys play with Tigers yourself. That's kind of what you're trying to do to make sure that that you get a lot out of this talent, because right now there's no real value from in the rhythm that we're seeing here. There's a lot of value from that particular curse though. They got the fort at the bot lane already, and now they're very likely to take the one here in the middle as well if they just poke it a little bit more. Maybe not quite now, but they're gonna get it eventually. In terms of experience, both of them are still very, very close. Stitches, by the way, with 11 stacks now on the Devour, and has also started to go more into a smash build here. Or a slam build, going straight into his playtime on level 4. The cooldown reduction, and we're having him with a lacerate as well. The 11 stacks are going to help him to get more passive regeneration pretty quickly in those fights. I'm also liking the virulent reaction. So far we had quite a couple of nice hits with the lurking arm on the side of Stukov. He can get the extra root that makes it insanely scary for any team here. And they're trying to sneak a boss. This is something that's always a little bit weird. Sneaking a boss without having a talent or a number advantage on the map. Against Tyrande in particular, it's dangerous, because as you could see there, she just sends a quick owl through the map and then knows very early on what exactly you're up to. And that's what we just saw there. Up to the top, the Haka still needs to be careful here. Needs to somehow deal with the camp, but he can't really fall victim to a quick gank. And talking ganks, helping hand for Murloc Queen. The Murloc King and the Murloc Queen helping out each other. It's a romantic story. There's going to be a comic soon from Blizzard lore, by the way. And well, the Haka, alright, gets out of this one. For a second it really looked like he might be running into a bit of trouble. He drags the siege giant in, so it gets taken down by the wall. So finally deals with the situation. This is a problem though. Oh yeah, Murloc King, you're in trouble. You need to get out of here, and you need to get out of here quick. Already the attempt to go for the isolation. The Haka misses it though, but the cocoon was also being used, and here comes the arrow, only onto Nubarak, but it's enough for now. And we have the damage. Oh, the fear as well. The horrify on Murloc King. He gets another devour through, but it's not enough. Hanzo dies too. They try and get the counter kill against Arthas, but not even that works out for them. And in a 5 versus 3, they have to move back. And there's now a wide open boss at the top, at the bottom, and that's going to be a cursed tribute. I honestly think they should just go for boss and then take the tribute. Yeah, that would have been the play. But they go for the curse first and start to push it through the top of the lane. Down at the bottom of the map, the Haka is still getting some value. 16 talents are in their hands too. 34 stacks on Gul'dan on his level 1. He has the Ruinous Affliction on 16 now, but once he completes his quest on level 1, that's going to be even better. A lot of the quests not completed yet in this game. Arthur's sitting at 25,000 damage, having quite a few stacks already on his trade for the auto attacks there. They want to go for the keep. This is a 5 versus 5 though. They're trying to open the small wall up to see if they can maybe make a play there. That boss is already on the way. The Haka is still pushing, by the way. Got the 16 talents for his team now, so they're at least fighting on eye level with their opponent. That gives us also the hook. Another drag against Stitches. They're fighting in the back here. Nice move by Stukov. Well done. Allows them to burn down the cocoon too. Arrow came in again. The silence and the kill. It's a double. They go for Tyrande and they get 2. Horrify used again, and we're actually seeing Arthur's fall. But they got the keep. They lost 3, but they got the keep here. And they're not still in a position where they're even in experience. But this is the moment when you want to go for boss. 3 are down. Go, go, go. Someone needs to make that call. Go, go, go. Take the boss. Steal theirs. Take it away. Whoop, whoop. And there we go. Alright, I'm liking this. Steal their boss first, move top lane, take the second. That's what we do. We're going place, baby! Oh yeah. Time for the first boss. Gul'dan might be able to get a little bit of... Yeah, you kind of don't want to show yourself here, because you can be hooked. But as long as he keeps himself behind the minions, it's fine. So take the boss, should move top side and take the top boss. And just let them defend. To get value out of it one way or another. Don't have an advantage, but it seems like they're gonna try and make a play for the keep instead. That's fair. I mean, if you get the hook here, that's absolutely fine. But they are moving back regardless. You kind of need to make a choice, boys. I think it's more so about the top lane that they're a little bit worried. But if you let the boss go, you take the second. Like either you push with it and you take keep, or you take the second at the top. Now you don't get anything out of it, and they're actually a little bit late in the rotation, so they should have made the decision a little bit quicker, but either way, they're doing it. But now the rotation is already underway. And Tirana scouted out. Now you have Hanzo. That's helping you one way or another. But yeah, boss should still be taken here. I don't think they're going to be in time. They shouldn't be. Ooh, that is getting too close for comfort, to be honest with you. Alright, get the hell out of there. Slap, slap, bam! And here is the Horrify. They're going full on in on it. And Stitches is down. Stitches dead. Everything unleashed onto the point. The boss is stolen. Stitches is dead. So is Dehaka. And that should be game. The boss on the way. They're going to lose Tigers too, aren't they? There's the tether. Tigers falls. Now we're going to have Stukov dying too. 4 heroes down and the boss on the way to the core. This is going to be it. You need to make that play right away. You can't wait that long. If you go right after you take the first boss, then you make that an easy one. But you just waited a bit too long. And that is going to be game, ladies and gentlemen. Inclement Weather with the 2 wins in a row. Take down for the Murlocs here in Division 3 of Heroes launch. GG and well played as the blue team takes the victory on Cursed Hollow.